So where to get started would be great communication with your buying team and DMM. That's where the direction comes from. But in studying the platforms, which anyone can go and study the platforms, look at the biggest brands and the small to mid-sized brands and see where they're doing really well. And currently, and things change and the compliance pieces change, it's 6 images in 1 video. And that's your opportunity to tell your brand story for that retailer, for Walmart in particular on that. Amazon has their rules, different types of brands and products.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Whyte Label Advice. My name is Brooke McNeely. I'm the VP of Marketing here at White Spider. I am here with our founder and CGO, Eric Howerton.
Thank you, Brooke.
And we have our esteemed special guest today.
Hello.
We have Jeremy Bobo. He is the founder and CEO of District 21. So hello and welcome.
Welcome to the show, Jeremy.
Yeah. Very nice sound effects as well.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you. And today we wanted to talk about just kind of retailers like Walmart. They all have guidelines for suppliers to follow when it comes to online item pages. And why do these retailers have those guidelines?
Absolutely. To optimize, that's my favorite word, to optimize the platforms to make them first compliance equals efficiency. Usually. So depending on the goal of the retailer, sometimes they want less so that people can move and seamlessly move through the platforms well and quickly make a purchase. It's about conversion tactics. And then some retailers allow you to do a little bit more. In specific to Walmart, I would just say if we're talking Walmart, we're talking 6 images, 1 video, and it sounds like the easiest thing on earth, but it's kind of deeper than that because it's about what you want to convey. What Walmart loves for you to do in regards to how your product is expressed on their platform. And then for your sake, you want to have everything optimized so that you can get a return.
There you go.
Right?
Eric, you have anything to add?
No, man.
That was perfect. Yeah, it was perfect.
It's flawless. I mean, what else is there to add? I mean, so you said something, though, that's key. Seems like it's the easiest thing in the world to do. Why is it not the easiest thing in the world to do?
It sounds like 6 images, 1 video. It's like, oh, hey, my little daughter, can you go get 6 images in the video? And they'll YouTube that thing and they'll have it for you. But in regards to conversion, on products specifically, we had a product conversation earlier. I love it. I'll ADHD off on that, but it would be.
Let's do that.
First off, what product are you conveying as an electronic? Are we talking about a consumable item? I've worked with Tyson, and we've done some things with Bayer, where it's as a pharmaceutical, so it's technical. You need to convey, and you can't show a certain image. Just go into those things. You can't show a certain image because it has to have regulatory things, legal commentary along with it. So when you talk about, it sounds easy. A creative team has to sit down with 2 or 3 people like us and seriously think about it. Yeah. Right? And put together their content where Walmart, it's compliant internal, it's compliant to Walmart or the retailer, and then it fills all those voids of someone quickly searching, and then SEO. That's a whole nerdy other piece. To say it has to be fit into SEO so people find and buy.
Yeah. So why is it important for suppliers to follow those guidelines? Is it important for them to just, instead of just being like, whatever, I don't want to do what the retailer says, why should they follow what the retailer says?
Why should they? If they want more floor space. Floor space in digital is the ability to put more products on your SKU list. On the floor in store, it's the ability to get Walmart's attention and support. Do what they say, man. It's Walmart. It's Walmart.
It's simple.
It's Walmart country, and it's very simple. And they play nicely when you are compliant. And I've supported display programs across 4,000 Walmart stores and digital signage, 30,000 signage prints a month at some points. And in those cases, if you're rogue, they will not allow you to continue in what you think is going to be profitable. We're going to make all this money in Walmart country. If you don't present it well and be compliant, they'll kind of go, you think you're cool. This is actually our store, and we would like for you to get in line. So it's very helpful internally to process it. And I usually, when I give people any type of consulting in that regard, it would be, put some people on it. And I talked to some of the biggest brands, Wreck-It and Bayer in the past and recent, and 1821 and Beard Oil we're working with. And they go, who's submitting this? Who's handling creating this? And I don't know. We're just making sure everything comes from China and ships. And okay, that's great, but someone's got to be specifically thinking about putting out the content and submitting it properly to the retailer.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, totally. That's one of the most important things.
And it helps them make money. It helps the retailer allow them to continue.
Yeah, that was. I mean, that was one of my next questions. Is what do retailers want most from suppliers?
I would say attractive content, quick conversion content.
Are you okay? Eric is dying over here.
You're dying.
You're over here dying. Get some water.
I'm sorry, Jeremy.
Content will make you get choked up.
I mean, y'all just kept going like I wasn't dying.
I mean, you're choking.
I'll save
you're
you in
getting
the middle
air.
of this thing. I'll save your life.
Would you save me?
Yeah.
Right now, buddy.
You're obviously getting air, so you're fine. Let's just keep going.
I did not care at all about what I was just going through. I mean, I'm over here watching Jeremy, and I know he can see my eye. My left eye was starting. I mean, just pouring out water because I was trying not to cough.
Now I feel. First, I was like, he might have to take a call. Like he's a serious man. He might need to step out for a minute. That's okay. And wait, he's kind of coughing. Then I'm like, now I'm sad because I didn't help a friend.
It's fine. He's fine.
Oh no! So I hope I'm not rambling and saying some of the same things, but it's been several companies, and I drill down depending on the company. If we're talking electronics, you need to convey a certain thing, and your buyer, be in sync with your buyer. That's the biggest thing. Your buying team is going to give you direction on what your visuals need to convey and kind of tell you your rules, usually. Your DMM, if you have contact with your DMM. And then, that compliance will allow you to sell more things. And then you go, oh, no, we did this much lift. And then I have, friends like this gentleman and your team that can go dive deep and go, you actually sold more this month. Oh, because you sent in 6 pictures and 6 people with 6-figure salaries sat down for 5 seconds and had a designer think through the output and go ahead and get it compliant. And then you sold a lot more because the SEO is en route. Everything's working well. So it's helpful to fall in place on creative. And some creative departments really have a team that's stuck on, they know what to do. And it's some teams that are so big and they have, I say a lot of people, someone needs to wake up in the morning, boom, the alarm, and be focused on your social media or focused on your art creative. And then it's people on your sales and it's people on your logistics and your shipping. And some people go, oh, it's social media design. I mean, we had a guy that does it.
Yeah.
My buddy does it sometimes.
Yeah.
Then they wonder why it's not as.
So are you saying like a lot of times or sometimes like there's not a resource that's specifically designated for that merchandising type content, right?
Either that or this not taken as serious. The bigger, be honest with you, it's some very big companies that you'd be surprised that they just they do very well. I'm not knocking big companies. I'm just saying I've studied and seen a few companies that, wow, a little more focus on that, the little stuff, the little things.
Right, the details,
will help you drive the revenue you're looking for. So, yep. And then the small to mid-sized companies either get it or don't get it, but they're like, I've been bidding every week to get in QVC. I call Amazon every single day to get my thing. Okay, listen to what they're asking you to do, submit it properly. Yeah, and then you're trying to get Shark Tank it. You better get your stuff in there, turn it in well. Yeah.
I think like to your point, the small to mid-size complying with with any of the retailers, right? You have to take those steps, and they're all different for every retailer.
That's true.
But you have to go through the process to even start to have conversations because you can't skip those things.
That's true.
The retailers aren't making the big brands skip them. I mean, they're not going to allow the small and the mids to skip them.
All right. And that's kind of your ticket in as a small to mid. That's your ticket in to be compliant and tuck your shirt in and get your little collar.
That's true.
Good. And seriously do what you're supposed to and submit it right. Then it's going to help you get into the game.
That's right.
And District 21 specifically, we work with a few. We just started this thing. a few small to mid-sized brands, and they are doing the bid and presentation game. So they're keen to saying, I need to try to figure out. The bigger ones just don't pay attention enough anymore because they're blank company, and they're like, yeah. And then they go, well, and they have 15 lines of products, and they go, this specific one's not doing well. And then I go look it up, or you guys go, well, it's no pictures of it. And they don't have a link where to buy it.
Right.
They don't know why they want it either.
Yeah.
Right.
That's okay.
That's true.
So it's just a thought. It's a component to many components, and design creative has its own department, but it's a piece, and it's tied to what we do is help people think through that and make sure it's effective and efficient, and we create it in house, or we don't say we do everything. We source and get people in front of subject matter experts so that they can maximize their digital content.
There you go. Is it more important when you're putting together your item page story? Is it more important to tell the item story, or is it more important to tell the brand story?
Oh, I love it. See, now you're getting. I love these questions. Both. How do you do both? If we had a whiteboard, because I'm from the 80s, I would break that down, and it's depend on the rest. We start up here, little tree. Depend on what product we're talking about. If it's a product that needs a heartfelt, philanthropic pharmacy, I've worked with Bayer. Oh, we need to be smiling and kids. And allergies never hurt us because we take blank or blank, right? So you need to have a more of a brand story feel versus a you would want to versus always just look at this medicine, Tylenol. That's not attractive as much as your kid's been sick and hey, you just got over COVID. Hey, you know what? Then it tells a different story. So on that side of things, I would say it's more of a brand story depending on the type of product you're putting out. If it's a Red Bull, it needs to be attractive and fast and quick.
Right.
And tell you why you're excited. So some guy jumping off a skateboard with a Red Bull in his hand. It needs to be impactful and quick. Or an electronic. Why do I want it? Because it's flying and water's floating up because it's waterproof and it's this new droid and it's powerful imagery. So that's when you're getting the key nerdy stuff like key and hero shots. So those shots are the ones that make it attractive because I just searched those headphones and I go, man, I like that. It's on this guy's head. Look at this guy. I want the same thing for Christmas, and I'm gonna save up for it.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this right there.
It is. You're looking
awesome.
good in your
Thank you.
headphones. Good job.
See? And then he'll be an NFT with his headphone, put Beats by Dre on 3D.
Yeah.
There you
Come
go.
on, get me started. But the key and hero shots, depending on the product, it's more about the product visuals and messaging based on the brand. The messaging is important. If it's your Bayer, that's my only point of reference at the current moment would be you have to have pharmaceutical legal information. So it's hard to make that attractive, but you better figure it out and sit with the team quickly and do that for the quarter.
Yeah.
On the other side, if you just have an electronic or something that needs to be kind of flashy, it needs to someone quickly search it and go, I want that. I'm getting that microphone, dude. So I would say that side of it is more tied to product.
Nice. Eric, what do you think?
I mean, I agree. I agree with all of it. I think you kind of have to have both on every product detail page because they do need to understand. They need to make that connection as much as you can make that connection. But those details, those specifications. I mean, like when you're talking about the headphones, right? Yeah, it has to have that power.
How does it work?
If it's waterproof and it's got exactly.
How loud is it? Noise canceling?
Yeah.
Right.
Or is my kid going to drop it in? Oh, man.
Yeah. You got to know, you got to see that list of specs, and get down because what I'm finding, and even for myself, and I'm seeing like even in my daughters, I got 3 daughters, 14, 15, 16-year-olds. But I mean, they know more details about products than I could ever imagine. Crazy. Down into the weeds. It's just some of the goofiest things in the world, I mean, like, and it means something to them, and so I think that, as people they have more accessibility to information, they can research, they can go find any retailer in their son, any product, any way to buy this product, they have to be able to get it right there. And when you're looking at a retailer, if I was a retailer, if you put yourself in their shoes, right, Why are you
I was seeing
making
if
so many
you're.
faces, bro?
Well, you were about to cough again, and I was going to see if
okay?
you're. I was
Oh,
looking
I'm
at your
fine
eye.
now. Turn off the mic.
I'm okay.
I was
Somebody
looking. I'm
help
like, is
him.
he going to start crying
No,
again?
no.
Hey, we saving this guy. He's got the new arc gear on. We won't let him go.
We
Do
need-
you
Not
need
gonna let-
assistance?
Make sure when we do the edit of this that we zoom in to when I'm sitting there listening to Jeremy and I have my tears start coming down.
Well, I thought you had to step out and talk to somebody. It's serious. You
Because
start
I was crying?
Because you're
Yeah,
crying.
I
Yeah.
was like, he's serious. He's a businessman.
This meant something to him.
And then
What you were saying was beautiful.
Then after you said, nobody came to save me, then my heart went
Nobody
like,
came to save me.
I
No,
didn't
you were
even.
fine.
I don't remember saying no one came to save
And I
me.
was like,
He was
he's,
fine.
He's right. I didn't.
I was like, nobody cared. Because y'all like didn't even skip a beat. Y'all just kind of kept on.
The show keeps the show.
Show
Just
must
show-
go on. Yeah.
He's out. Another one in. We don't even need him here at all.
I know. Like it's.
He can go off and cough and die.
Oh, no.
We just need to keep this podcast rolling.
Please,
But
no.
if I just thinking for a second, if you're a retailer and you're about to start your own retailing business, and you started collecting a bunch of brands and suppliers, like you have to make sure like that if the amount of expense and resources and time it takes to get Jeremy to come to myretailer.com, and if Jeremy comes and he doesn't convert there, then I have lost a fortune. And I've also lost him as a customer. And so it's absolutely imperative that they convert, because in our world they can click the back button, they can go to 1,000 other retailers to get the same exact product. Right? And I think that's somewhat of a
That's the part.
disconnect, I think, that maybe brands might have with retailers just in general. There's always going to be that tension. I mean, there always has been. But brands can sell to all the retailers
Right.
if possible, but retailers can't. I mean, all those other retailers are their competitors.
It's true.
So it's imperative. It's imperative to comply, and that's why retailers have their own specifications. They want a cutting edge. They want to be better than everybody else.
true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Here's another fun question. It's a bit of a softball. So, who do you make the content for? Do you make it for the robots, like the search engines, or do you make it for the shopper?
Oh, that's good. You make it more for the shopper always, because to his point, let's go back to when he said what made he mentioned his family and the sentimental, his daughter understands blank, blank, blank specifications. She only understands that because she was engaged in a certain way, and the more you understand the demographic you're after based on the product, depending on what we're selling, you're going to want to go after the customer first. But the bots, that's the part where the people that are companies that are very big and they're doing really well, of course, they may sometimes miss being compliant because they don't think about the bots, and they have 2 images submitted for a soup. That's
You just
coming.
soup down like that just wore you out.
Because
saying
it's
that.
sad, because I'm the creative guy that's sitting in the department. Because it's a lot of things to run a business and do. That's like, we didn't do our job in this room. The 2 pictures and no video, right? And they said 6 pictures, one. So, in that regard, it would be you didn't satisfy the bots, and so your SEO is off, and things aren't going to be searched quickly by the daughter that needs to understand if this GoPro is good or not.
Right.
Because I want it for I'm going to this thing this weekend, and you've missed that sale if you didn't comply with the bots. But I would always say err on the side of
Of the human.
brand experience,
Yeah.
and the retailers, to his point too, want the right experience so they can sell how they want to sell. Target has a certain way they want to sell to a certain type of shopper. So
What are you thinking, Eric? Bots
What? I mean,
or shoppers?
I feel like you're trying to put it like some sort of like.
I throw a curveball. She tries to trip us up.
You're
man.
giving Jeremy softballs, throwing me curveballs. I mean, it's a little bit.
It's the same question.
Oh yeah, this is true.
But yes.
I mean, I think that. I mean, I'm like it's a difficult one because I really feel like that they kind of have an equal placement. I just see that the bots are becoming more and more and more important.
Yep. It's true.
Important to be exposed to the shopper, which is also becoming more and more complicated in the sense that they need more and more information.
Yeah.
you know, like what we were talking about. And it's just, I mean, you know, I often say, you know, man, I really do empathize with the brands, right? It's a hard job.
It's
Just everything that you're
No,
just
it's
saying.
tough.
It's tough.
Because the people making the packaging have to be in sync with the people making the social media and the people making the and then the sales guys are like, just sell it already.
Yeah.
And the logistic guys are going, why didn't it ship yet?
Right. And it's getting more and more complicated. And here the biggest problem is that it's all additive, right? I mean, like all the stuff we're doing on .com is, I mean, when you really look at it, I mean, has it really increased the amount of sales, or is it stolen more sales than it's increased from brick and mortar? You know, so but what you have is the brands having to cooperate on both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
By the way, and it's just more work to be done.
That's true.
And my biggest thing on it, to kind of really go back to the question is it's not going to slow down.
No, you guys.
It's going to get a lot more intense.
Okay.
Can you imagine, like, when they actually do launch the virtual reality, the augmented reality, I mean, dude, it's what kind of information is every product going to have?
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I've seen things where you're literally getting dressed in front of a TV or mirror like this without taking it, and you're just touching buttons and it's wrapping the shirt. You're like, I kind of like this.
But can you imagine the
That's
graphics, the graphic requirements that are going to be needed for that kind of stuff?
No, that's true too. That's true too. And you know, I would say this conversation could feel to some brands as a negative conversation, but it's more about take a microscope and look at some of the things that could probably add value in a tech world that is going to continue to become tech, and make sure you're ready for change.
Yes.
Yep.
That's it.
That seems to be a theme. Yeah. Be ready for it. It's coming.
Yeah. You have. I mean, you have to live in it. You know. I mean, I was meeting with some of our new teammates that came on board. I was like, if you come here and you are embracing adapting every day, then you're going to love this job.
You got it.
You're going to love this industry.
Don't get stuck. Don't get stuck.
It's always changing so fast.
You do.
Get paralyzed.
All right. Well, one of the last questions is how can suppliers get started on these guidelines? What is like the first step that you need to do to start being a champion for Walmart? So
absolutely, my answer to that would always direct back to Walmart, right? In regards to your communication with your buying team. I've been in conversation with buying teams and their suppliers, and they give clear direction of what they need, and they say it once or twice, and they go, if you didn't do it, that's on you, buddy. Not necessarily that negative, but in a way of, I've told, and so it's the job on the suppliers to push that down to their teams or delegate properly to get that done. So where to get started would be great communication with their buying team and DMM. That's usually where the direction comes from. But in studying the platforms, which anyone can go and study the platforms, look at the biggest brands and the small to mid-sized brands and see where they're doing really well. And currently, and things change, and the compliance pieces change. It's 6 images in 1 video, and that's your opportunity to tell your brand story for that retailer, for Walmart in particular. On that, Amazon has their rules, different types of brands and products, categories have rules. So, I would just say start at your buying team and make sure someone has that on their mission for the quarter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's good, yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to get I mean, you have to keep checking back in on it too. Like you can't get the rules and regs, do it, and then, like you said, quarterly is probably at least a minimum idea to come refresh. Yeah. Make sure it's all still good.
Yeah, and what pops in my head is, I don't like to say too many names, because everybody's doing business. I would say, some companies that are needing to release a new product every month, every quarter. The team that's helping put that together, the end of that is finalizing what it looks like on social media and on digital platforms and on e-commerce. So it needs to trickle down quickly. Things need to move quickly. If new products are being released, new Yeti brand or new blank, you can't have the old picture from last year, okay? The new cough medicine for after your COVID booster better be the right one. It's old.
Very true.
And it's about refreshing it and keeping it current.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I think Jeremy wanted to ask about my gear.
You want to talk about your gear? We're gonna give a little plug.
You want to talk about the gear?
I like it. Yeah, man. What are we talking? Are we talking about hats?
No.
No, you do need to talk about the hat.
The last, my notes are horrible, and I'm live.
Did you miss it?
Live. I have ARCTERX.
YX.
Arcteryx.
YX. Arcteryx.
Arcteryx.
TERY.
Why?
Why?
What is the brand, my man?
ARCTERYX.
Got it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Arcteryx.
Arcteryx.
So
There
it's
you go.
like this. Basically, he's being paid right now, ladies and gentlemen.
I know. Are you
to endorse
Yes.
this product, and he brought it up 4 times now, so I know they sent him a check for it.
Oh, for sure.
And
Each
so
time.
we're gonna drive a full social media campaign next month with Arcteryx.
There we go.
And we love you guys, and thank you for your sponsorship.
This podcast is
Yes.
brought to you by Arcteryx.
Can we talk about the hat though?
Yeah.
What is the hat?
This is Jeremy's hat that he gave me. He gave me right for the show.
The
What's
hat
on
is just a symbol, friends. What is
Yeah.
the hat? A logo that appeared to represent a D. What does the D stand for? District. What is a district? Go to the dictionary. It is a sector where groups like us and collaborative people come to an area where they're all welcomed, and that's a
cool.
district. That's a nice area. It's a district. What is 2021? That's the year that we started District 21
okay.
as a
That's
PR group and social media kind of either creative agency from that perspective, or just a consultant to kind of help, because basically we nerd out on this stuff all night that y'all are talking about.
Yeah.
It's probably too long, but that's a symbol, and it's a little orange eye because it winks, blink, blink, blink.
Oh,
blink,
it winks
blink.
at you.
And also, if I turn this way, I have a mohawk, and the mohawk
There it is.
actually my head. But it's not about me. It's what the brand represents.
The
correct?
brand, yes, that is.
That's right.
It's all about the brand.
That's what the brand represents, and it's tied to Teen Action Support Council, who's going to raise $100K hopefully this weekend at
Nice.
All
Cool.
In at the John Q. Hammond Center.
All
Hey,
right,
why is she putting that music on? She's acting like we're done.
we are done. Thank you guys.
We're just getting warmed up.
We're just getting warmed up, but we can keep
sad.
going, but we are done. Thank you guys for being here.